Welcome to the Ultimate 180, the podcast for hardworking people like you who are ready to break free from exhaustion and create a life that actually feels good. If you're tired of spinning your wheels and want a simpler, gentler way to change your life without all the stress, fear, and guilt, without adding more to your already overwhelming schedule, and without giving up everything you've already built, then you're in the right place. What if I told you that there is a voice in your head that is shaping your entire life? And most of the time, you don't even realize it's there. It's subtle, it's sneaky, and it sounds a lot like the truth, but it's not. It's that quiet voice that says, I'm not ready yet. I'm not good with money. I'm not pretty enough. People like me don't get to do things like that. These are the hidden lies, the limiting beliefs that live under the surface. And the worst part, they're so familiar, we don't even question them. We just live by them day after day while wondering why we're stuck, burnt out, or constantly hitting the same ceiling. I'm your host, Christina Walker, and in today's episode, we are pulling back the curtain on those inner scripts. I'll help you recognize the lies that you've been telling yourself, and more importantly, how to replace them with something that actually moves you forward. If you have ever felt like you might be the one that's actually standing in your own way, or worse, you've never even thought about that at all, then this is your wake-up call. So before we dive in, I just want to ask you just a quick little favor. If this episode sparks anything inside you, just a little hope, inspiration, or a little nudge to think differently, take a split second to hit that follow button. Why? Because every time you do, you're not just making sure that you never miss an episode, you're also helping someone else who needs to find this message too. And if something really hits home today, don't keep it to yourself. Screenshot it. Screenshot this episode, share it on social, and tag me with your biggest takeaway. I absolutely love seeing your insights. And who knows, you might just be my next featured Ultimate 180 story. Oh, and if you're ready to dive even deeper, go grab my Stop Working So Hard workbook. It is my free gift to you to help take what we're learning here and help you start making real moves in your own life. And be sure to join that VIP community where we take these conversations to the next level. You do not have to be alone in this. I've got you. And all the links to that are down in the show description. So let's get started as we navigate change together, 1 degree at a time. Let's do this. So I was having a conversation with a family member, and I don't know what we were talking about, all sorts of random things. And she suddenly says out of the blue, yeah, it always depends on when I step on the scale in the morning, that always indicates what kind of day it's going to be for me, whether it's going to be good or bad. And I stopped and I'm like, wait, what? And I'm thinking that this person is very thin, by the way, very healthy, works out all the time. And I'm like, and this wasn't normal behavior for this person. She didn't normally talk like this, but this came out of nowhere. And I'm like, wait, what? That decides how your day is going to go is when you step on that external scale like that you've decided somewhere. And I didn't say that at the moment because it just wasn't appropriate at the time, but it hit me. And I thought to myself, oh my God, like what is she all of a sudden? Like, where did this come from that she's telling herself that her weight on a scale should decide her entire day? Like, what are the things that she's thinking about herself? What thoughts and habits has she suddenly adopted that is creating this horrible situation? Because nobody should have to live like that. That something external should never be able to decide how our day is going to be, especially a scale, especially for a scale for somebody who's doesn't even need to lose weight and wasn't even trying to lose weight. It was just kind of a maintenance thing. And it really got me starting to think of what are these things that I don't even know that I'm telling myself that aren't true. because you really can't change what you don't hear. And how many times do we tell ourselves these little hidden lies because we are so used to them? We're just, I mean, they're just habits, they're just ingrained. So we need to start finding a way to listen to that voice in our head more with a curiosity than a judgment. What are we actually saying to ourselves? And start being present to those little things in our head to stop ourselves. Like if we actually said that, if I said that in the morning, I mean, I'd be like, wait, where did that come from? Or sometimes we get up in the morning and we're like, oh, I have the hardest day ahead of me. It's going to be crazy. Hello? Yeah, it's going to be crazy, mostly because you just said it was going to be. And you woke up feeling like that. But maybe we can do things differently. So the way to start is really just to take one day. Just start one day and say, you know what, today I am going to start to notice my inner dialogue. And kind of like you're eavesdropping on someone else's thoughts, but they're actually your own. Like really, think of it kind of as a like, I'm gonna eavesdrop today. I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna hear what what am I saying? What comes into my brain? It doesn't even have to come out of my mouth. But what are these things that I'm saying? And start writing down phrases that you hear kind of repeat themselves on a regular basis. So, especially the ones that start with I always, I never, and I can't. Because those are identifiers to habits that are in your head that you probably don't even know they're there. Those are the cues. And these are those hidden lies that's the disguise right there. That's how you can identify the disguise, or those little words. So once you do that, we need to start learning how to challenge that voice inside of us so that we don't just accept it and keep this habit forever, because these are the things that are keeping you stuck in life. Whenever you feel stuck and you've hit a wall and you just can't move to that next level, or you know, those times where you're like, here we are again. I'm with the same person, even though it's a different person, I'm with the same person. I'm in the same kind of job, even though it's a different job. I moved across the country, I moved across the world, and the same things are happening to me. I started a business again, and I'm right back where I started. It's just not working out. Those aren't actual realities of you being a failure. It's just you, if you can view it and say, wow, you know what? I just noticed this about me. And because I noticed it, then I can change it, because it's like the universe saying, hey, you're hitting that wall again because there is a habit, there is a hidden lie somewhere down deep inside of you that you can change. And once you do that, you get to break through finally. You actually get to break through when you can identify it and start moving through it. So ask yourself, once you've identified some sort of limiting belief, challenge it. Say, wait a minute, what, what would I do if I didn't believe this? How would life be different if I didn't believe this? Do I have to believe this? Is this something that I actually believe? Those are the interesting ones. Is I remember having money issues, my thoughts about money, and I realized it wasn't even mine. It was just the way I grew up. One of my parents was one complete crazy way, and one was a very methodical other way. And one was vilified, and the other, it just was the other. So I thought, well, that can't be good, so it's this. And usually that's not the case, right? Things aren't just black and white. There's a gray area somewhere in between. So maybe that truth itself is not even yours. You got to get that out of there, because that is what's keeping you stuck. And so it's kind of exciting when you realize I don't even like that belief. That's not even mine. Those are really exciting, because then you can get through those a lot quicker. So if you just try on a new belief for a minute by saying, whether it's the opposite of that belief or just something, slightly different, if you try it on, you're sparking completely different actions because you're in a different place from that belief system. So like this belief system over here you can take action from that space, right? And those are your options. But if you shift your belief over here, it gives you whole different options of actions in your life that you can take because that belief system itself is completely different. And it opens up a whole new world of opportunities, especially once you start making it a habit and when you start seeing results. So what I hope that you can understand is that your beliefs are not facts. They're just habits. That doesn't mean they're facts. And when you can start challenging yourself and say, you know what? Is that really a fact? Maybe it's not. Maybe I had a judgment about even a person or a set of people or my old boss or the old company, or maybe I had some beliefs about people that I want to have relationships with. Maybe I thought they were facts, but maybe they're just not. And if they're not, what does that mean for me? And what world does that open up? Because most of those thoughts that actually sabotage us, they are not based on a truth. They're based on our mental habits that we've repeated for years. And that is honestly, just because you've thought it 1,000 times doesn't make it true. It just makes it familiar, right? So start treating those limited beliefs like old scripts that you are no longer willing to read anymore because you get to rewrite them. You absolutely get to rewrite them. Just try it out. Have fun with it. Just try one at a time. Just find something that you're like, wow, didn't even know that. Like, why do I believe today has to be chaos? What if my day is filled with a whole bunch of meetings and things? But what if it's super fun? What if I actually thrive on that? What if I get to the end of the day and it's energized me instead of depleting me, right? Because you've come up with that story and you get to change it. So let me ask you this. Are you ready to dive deep? Can you become your own detective and discover what's really keeping you from your dreams? These little nasty little lies we tell ourselves, these habits, it's not your fault. They're just habits. They're just familiar. And I really hope that you give this a try because you deserve the best out of life. You truly do. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode spoke to you in any way, just remember to hit that follow button and tag me on social with your biggest takeaway. If you'd like more information on how to incorporate these tips into your Ultimate 180 experience, grab my free workbook and join my VIP group at ultimate180.com. And let's discover what's ultimately possible for you. You can catch all my episodes there on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your shows.